Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Bill Powell, and I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of West Virginia. Let me first thank Sheriff Perry Palmer for the use of this space. We talked just a little bit before this thing began. It's hard to find indoor space, particularly. I guess the weather would have worked out for us today, but we're glad we're here, and we thank him for allowing us to use this space and the cooperation of his deputies, as always. In attendance today, we have Special Agent, you guys can raise your hands when I call your name, Special Agent in Charge Michael Chrisman of the FBI, J.T. Scroggs, Resident Agent in Charge for the DEA, Sergeant R.M. Giles, West Virginia State Police, he's not here, is he? Sheriff Palmer, Chief Eric Powell, Morgantown Police Department, Chief Craig Corcoran, Granville Police Department. Lieutenant Hill. Lieutenant Hill, okay, thank you for coming, sir. I'm here to announce the unsealing of an indictment returned by the Elkins grand jury charging 25 individuals whose names I won't read verbatim. You'll be given access to the indictment with all of their names. In a total of 56 counts involving violation of United States drug trafficking laws. Of those 25, 13 are from West Virginia, 9 from Texas, 2 from California, and 1 from Michigan. The drugs at issue included methamphetamine, cocaine, fentanyl, and heroin. We believe that nearly 18 to 27 kilograms of narcotics were distributed in the approximately 2 years of this investigation. Most of the distributions occurred in and around Monongalia County, primarily in the Morgantown area, some near protected locations like West Virginia University. The drug shipments often came from Texas via California, and the methamphetamine originated, we believe, in Mexico. This is the third drug trafficking organization which is the subject of an indictment in the Northern District of West Virginia in recent weeks. In August, I announced an indictment in Wheeling related to an Ohio-based organization, mostly from Columbus and Cleveland, where 26 defendants were charged with drug trafficking. Less than 2 weeks ago, we announced a significant indictment in Martinsburg relating to a drug trafficking organization operating from Philadelphia and elsewhere, in which 22 defendants were charged with RICO and other criminal violations relating to drug trafficking enterprise in the Eastern Panhandle area. Our recent announcements make it clear that once again that our law enforcement partners, in coordination with aggressive assistant United States attorneys in this district, are focused on the disruption and destruction of drug trafficking organizations operating in West Virginia. And let there be no mistake, these are organizations in the sense of a defined purpose and structure. They apparently believe that we are a good market for their activities. They now also understand that significant risks come with the drug trafficking in this district. These investigations will not end. Law enforcement and our office is learning more with every case. We are resolute in our purpose to deal with these organizations head-on with aggressive prosecutions. I want to particularly recognize OCDETF, the Organized Crime and Drug Enforcement Task Force, for their resources and support, the DEA, FBI Northern West Virginia Drug Task Force, and the Mon Metro Drug and Violent Crimes Task Force, funded in part by the Appalachian HIDTA. I would note that this case represents another success of the task force model we use in this district as a force multiplier for a small state like ours. We have several excellent task forces, and the hallmark of each of them is their willingness to sacrifice individual agency recognition for the good of the ultimate goal. They don't care who gets the credit or for individual accolades, which is not something you always see. We appreciate their work very much in West Virginia. We are grateful to have the DEA, FBI, ATF, the Morgantown Police Department, Mon County Sheriff's Department, West Virginia State Police, WVU Police Department, the Granville Police Department, and the Star City Police Department represented in our task forces. For this case, I also wanted to thank the Houston Police Department, Gang Multi-Agency Initiative Unit, Squad 3, the FBI HIDTA Gang Group in Houston, the United States Postal Inspective Service in Houston, the FBI and DEA offices in Los Angeles, California, and finally our 2 assistant United States attorneys working this case, Zelda Wesley and Sarah Wagner. Several arrests have been made the majority of the 25 have now been arrested, not only in West Virginia, but in California and in Texas. However, several are still at large, and the U.S. Marshal Service, among others, are assisting in making those final arrests. I'll remind everyone that this indictment only marks the beginning of the case for us. Those charged are presumed innocent, and it's up to us to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, which I anticipate we will do at a time and place to be set by the court. Especially Crispin, you want to make a comment or two? Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Special Agent in Charge Michael Crispin from the Pittsburgh Division of the FBI. I'm very proud to be here today with our great partners that Bill described earlier. It's through tremendous local, state, and federal law enforcement partnership and multi-jurisdictional collaboration that we were able to identify and target this Los Angeles-based supplier and the Houston-based drug distribution network that set up shop in Morgantown. These individuals sold drugs for profit without any regard for the devastation caused in our local community and to its families. Instead, these suspects preyed on our community, acting like salesmen, selling just about every illegal drug imaginable. I'd like to recognize all the Mon Metro Drug Task Force partners who shared in one goal, and that was to stem the flow of illegal drugs into our community by dismantling this multi-state drug distribution network. I know there is growing frustration in the community. This is not our first major drug investigation, nor will it be our last. We will continue to enhance resources and collaboration to keep our community safe from drugs, to include targeting local dealers as well as those out-of-state suppliers who believe they are beyond our reach. We also need help from the community. Those of you in the community, if you see something, call us. Call your local police. Your voice matters, and only together can we affect change. Thank you again very much.
Any other law enforcement representative have comments? Any? And I thank all of you gentlemen up here and your agencies for all the work you've done with us. I will tell you that as part of some of the arrests today, search warrants were also executed, and significant amounts of drugs, cash, and other contraband were discovered during the searches. So this investigation continues, and I expect there'll be more to report at a later time. But I'll open it up for questions if anybody has any questions at this point.
How many people were arrested in Monongalia County today, and what agencies arrested them?
I don't think I have the count on specifically on Mon County. 8 of the 14 subjects are from West Virginia, were arrested of the 25. 4 from Houston were arrested in West Virginia, and others were arrested elsewhere. Whether they were arrested in Mon County or not, I can't answer that question. I will tell you from an arrest standpoint, obviously all of these folks up here and their personnel in the field joined together. U.S. Marshals are also involved in these arrests, and so it's a group effort, all set on various teams out to look for individuals.
Were the FBI involved? Because there's been a video going around social media showing an FBI raid in Morgantown this morning. Is that connected with this?
I'm not sure what it is unless I see it. The FBI is always active in this area doing a number of things, and it may or may not be this case, but it's FBI is certainly active.
You mentioned WVU earlier. West Virginia University, did any of the drug trade or arrests or anything happen on campus or involving students?
I don't think it's students necessarily, but several of the transactions, the drug actual crimes that were committed were within 1,000 feet of WVU, which is a protected location. So yes, it was in and around those areas that these activities occurred.